the way. This should do it. Got him down. Let's get in there.
Hey guys, this is Drax back with another how-to guide for Star Wars Battlefront 2, and this time I'll be showing you how to dominate with Finn. So Finn is one of the newer heroes that came in with the Last Jedi season. First appearing in The Force Awakens, Finn, formerly known as FN-2187, is a defector from the First Order. On the wiki it says he was one of the best cadets, with his old comrades and superiors seeing him as the ideal stormtrooper. But as we know, in his first battle on Jakku he made the choice not to kill, and after helping Poe escape capture, eventually ended up on the Resistance side. Now I never expected him to be as good in game as, say, some of the other heroes. I expected more of a support character. But to my surprise, and I think a lot of people's, Finn is actually really good. Voiced by John Boyega himself, wearing Poe's jacket, Finn looks and sounds the part in game. He has 3 fantastic abilities, and these are Deadeye, Big Deal and Undercover Team. His main weapon of choice, the EL-16 blaster rifle. So looking at his first ability, this is Deadeye, and here Finn's EL-16 gets put into overdrive, and Finn uses his years of training to make every shot count. In other words, the blaster fires faster and locks onto any targets in front of you, making them super easy to take down. It will carry on locking onto targets as long as the ability is active, so taking out a large group of enemies is made a lot easier when this is in use. Against villains, Deadeye is perfect for taking them out quickly. With the improved fire rate and ability to track every move, I find it especially good against Boba Fett, as he can be hard to hit at times. This ability takes him out of the air and out of the game. I also find dealing with other blaster wielding villains like Phasma, Iden and Boss to be easy work for Finn. He really does hold his own in HVV mode and easily does the most damage a lot of the time. The next and central ability is called Big Deal. This is similar to the Officer's Command, but instead of just buffing whoever is in front of you, Finn gets a circle around him where he can move around and buff any player he gets close to. This ability benefits Finn and any nearby friendlies in 4 ways, that being more health, a damage reduction, no weapon cooldown, and their abilities will recharge faster. The only downside to this one is that Finn will move slower when it's in use, but with so many benefits it's definitely one of the best Inspire abilities in game. You pretty much want to use this ability whenever it's available. Defending or attacking, especially around a large group of friendlies, this one will make a big difference and keep you alive. He doesn't have a load of health and can't regen it with the use of any star cards, so using Big Deal is essential before engaging in combat. Enemies will then have to eat through the buff before potentially doing any permanent damage, so every time before you engage an enemy, having this one active will benefit you greatly and keep your streaks going. The final ability is Undercover Team. Finn here takes out the GLIE-44 and goes off the radar in a similar fashion to the infiltration ability that the Specialist has. This means as a hero, with a boost to sprint speed and the location of his enemies, Finn can get behind enemy lines and take people by surprise with his trusty pistol. The great thing about this ability is that it also affects any friendlies that are nearby, so this is great if you are with some friends or teammates, as you can catch the enemy unaware as a group. I believe it affects other heroes nearby as well, so that might be a pretty valuable tool right there if you can utilise it. Hiding yourself on the radar really is one of the best things about this ability, as normally heroes are easy to target because their marker stands out. You normally know when they are about to come around a corner, and usually if you are the hero, you get greeted by a heavy with his supercharged sentry in full effect. I love using Rey with her reveal ability, as that removes her from the radar, so to see Finn get something similar makes him a favourite in my book. Most of the time I use this as an attacking option, but sometimes it's useful for getting away too, as with the increased sprint speed and the fact you are hidden on the minimap, you can just slip away. So that's the abilities, and I've got to say they are some of the best abilities in game. The way Finn affects those around him really can decide whether you win or lose in certain situations. His weapon, the EL-16, is also extremely good even when it isn't in Deadeye mode. It works great at most ranges and hits hard, taking out opponents fast. I'm not a big fan of the EL-16 sound. Personally, I think it sounds like a broken squeaky toy, but its stopping power and ability to work in near any situation is nice to have. Phasma was of course added at the same time, and her weapon in comparison is nowhere near as effective. I suspect we might see a buff on that one in the future though. So now let's check out the star cards, and Finn has 4 which I personally think are great. I say 4 as I change out one slot depending on the map. So the first card is Stay Calm. For every enemy Finn defeats while Deadeye is active, it will extend its duration. This means if there are a lot of enemies around, you can keep on extending the duration, racking up some real nice multi-kills while Deadeye is active. I then have this combined with Raise to do one thing, giving the ability a larger lock-on radius as well. With a combination of these two, Deadeye is such a strong ability. And the final card I have been using is One Resistance. This reduces the recharge time of Big Deal if it affected at least 3 allies. Big Deal practically keeps Finn alive and helps out your teammates so much. Affecting 3 allies is pretty easy to do, so with a 40% reduction at top tier, this card seemed to me like a sure thing. But there is another card that is worth a mention, and I think may be a good option to switch out to on the maps that have more flanks. This is Never Going Back. Here, for every enemy Finn defeats while the ability Undercover Team is active, it will extend its duration. As I've said, Undercover Team is such a good ability, so to make the most of it, this card really is a good option. So that's Finn's abilities, weapons and star cards. Overall a great hero, and I would probably go so far as to say one of the best. He's not too hard to use, works well in all situations, and is great for team play. But anyway guys, that's the guide right there. Hopefully it helps you out a bit when using Finn. Let me know what you think of the Stormtrooper turned Resistance fighter in the comments. Is he one of your surprise favourite heroes? If you did enjoy this video, feel free to leave a like, I always appreciate it, and if you would like to see more Star Wars guides, updates and gameplay, then you can of course join the channel if you want to. I'll be back soon, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.